Now, though, let us
I love hearing
push on
soup
through
sounds in the background. Cody just trying to choke it down before we
It's
start
cold.
reading
It's
it.
fucking cold now.
Is Paisley wearing the best the best girl bib? Like, do you have matching bibs for eating
Yeah,
soup?
we do. I mean, I'm letting her borrow mine, but
Oh, so it says best boy on it?
no, it says best girl.
Oh, okay.
You are so good, Spood. You are such a good.
You're damn right. I'm a treasure.
Speaking of good, let's read.
Let's read Leaving the Dream, chapter
national
124, Devastation.
Are we actually starting?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
actually starting.
Oh shit! Let me take my waiter.
All right.
Fucking
Well, I will begin here.
Thank you.
Groan. Ow, my head.
It feels like I'm drunk.
Where are we?
I do like the image that Yamson has made here. Beautiful sketch work. I love sketchy stuff.
It is very evocative. Like, legitimately, like, a lot of them are very funny. This one's actually pretty baller.
That's good.
I love the color palette, Yamson.
yeah.
All right.
And Yamson, you're so pretty. You got such nice eyes.
It's true.
Yamson, you look great
my
today.
God. Oh wait, shit!
You're good,
This is a new episode. Hey everybody, welcome back to Living the Dream. I'm your host Duhad. There's Belil, Cabral, Soundspeed, and Yamson. Anyway, continuing.
Hi.
What is up, everybody?
I groan loudly.
I groan loudly as I open my eyes. At first, everything is blurry and out of focus, but after a few seconds, I can make out a few details. I was in a large stone room with windows on either side and what looked to be a display off to the right. Artificial light shone down all around me, leaving barely any shadows. After a few seconds, I begin to push myself up. But once I was on all fours, I threw my head up to look around and slammed into a shield.
Ew.
The shield shimmered black upon impact and stayed a light black.
Well, shit.
I muttered, looking around from a slightly crouched position.
That's not good.
I don't know if you two know this, but teleportation.
I face hooked and chuckled. Of course. Oh, that's so funny. I formed an image of my room at my house and nothing. What? I tried again and was met with the same results. Oh, this can't be happening.
You're awake.
Val said smugly as he walked into the room. I looked at him and glared.
Through the completely black shield that I'm.
Hey, it's a light black.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Where
It's a dark
am
gray.
I?
He smirked and trotted up to the shield and towered over me.
Why does it matter? You should be more worried about what Nightmare has planned for you instead.
Like
The
what?
glyph.
I questioned, eyeing him with clear hatred. He just smiled and turned.
You'll see.
And with that, he trotted off, leaving me alone.
Goodbye.
I
Was there any
sighed.
pretty good reason you came in here? No? Okay. Fucking bye, I guess.
Alright, see ya.
Sometimes it's just like looking at the inmates.
I sighed and looked around, looking for a way to escape. But sadly, that was impossible. I hung my head and felt a tear in my eye. It rolled down my face and fell to the ground, where it sizzled against the shield.
Why? Why can't I have one break? All I wanted to do is spend one decent day with my family and not have to worry about all this danger.
I just want to spend time with Spark and Twilight.
I just want to spend one
And
day
Kara.
with my
Kara.
I just want to spend one day with my family where I'm not running off to hang out with some DJs in the woods or having a competition to see which of these strangers will fuck my wife's friend.
I just want things to go back to the way they used to be, like when we were hitting each other in the nuts with hammers.
We're getting poisoned by cupcakes.
Damn, really has the latter half of season 2 energy, huh?
Fawn Shirley's been traumatized seeing her hometown race to the ground.
Fawn would be super devastated if she still existed.
Fawn is around.
I sniffled before continuing.
Yeah, at least everyone else is okay. No, not everyone. Every pony. More tears. Oh, sorry, that's
All right, if you insist. More tears began to run down my face as I remembered seeing the town being blown to pieces.
all those innocent ponies. That wasn't their fight. They didn't deserve to die.
They did die. I thought you were exaggerating.
I
no.
remember what happened in
They didn't
September.
deserve to die.
Often every pony died. Trails of blood within my stride.
It's also it's like, oh man, all those innocent ponies. This wasn't their fight. They didn't deserve to die. Unlike my friends who totally had it coming.
I mean, would you disagree?
No, absolutely
It's
not.
like it came from out of this world.
If you know more
I get
lyrics to that song, that's crazy.
Something weird and wrong. Something weird and strong. It just doesn't belong. Like
Wow,
it
you actually
came
do
out
know all
of
of it.
this world.
Jesus.
I know. I've
I choked back more tears
regained
as I remembered
momentum.
all the ponies who I knew and loved.
Oh, this is priceless. The great lands crying.
Is he that great? He kind of doesn't
He-
win every fight,
He's a
actually.
weenie. He goes
great
he eats
lands,
at Weenie Hut
legendary.
Juniors.
Well, again,
Legendary warrior notable for drowning in the apple bobbing bucket.
it's the weird thing where it's like the female characters are all like hyper badasses until they have to get into a serious fight, then they become jobbers. Lance is a complete jobber unless it's a serious situation, in which case he becomes the coolest Sue in the world. It's like all the characters in this just work on a weird like axiom of just like being hyper incompetent to hyper competent, like just like inverted whenever like the situation is comedic or serious.
Even then, I would say Lance isn't
Lance
always
isn't even
competent. anyways.
competent.
Yeah, even like during
Like,
serious moments.
He's not even competent,
Yeah.
but the villains treat him as if he.
Yeah,
is
they-
Like,
He
he's
killed
like,
Nightmare.
yeah, he kills Nightmare. He kills he killed,
Nightmare's
he beat Lance.
here,
Sorry, not
silly.
Lance.
He didn't
beat
die.
Lance.
Oh, fuck off. They both died. Come
Yeah,
on.
he defeats most of the villains. Every now and then a different character will get the actual finishing blow in or something. But like Lance kind of consistently is the like cool guy hero when it counts. It's just that like 99% of the time he's just a goofy idiot.
June and Nightmare are
Lance
his
is
only
usually saved by
legitimate
someone
wins
else.
against main
Yes,
villains.
instead.
Yeah. Like he again he like holds up fine against like most of like the like characters we're meant to take as serious threats.
What you all are doing right now is you're the kids in that "Is Fortnite overrated" video that are sitting
Yeah,
on the
there
couch.
you go.
But is
Oh,
Fortnite
we're,
overrated?
We're actually closer
You can read
to,
about
to
that.
Plato discussing philosophy with,
Oh, okay.
with the other philosophers.
Like Greek philosophers.
Anyway,
Nightmare said with a large smirk as he stood over me. I looked up with hate-filled eyes and snarled.
Why did you attack us on this day? Nightmare night, the least likely day for Nightmare to attack. Why couldn't you have told us to meet you at the forest like last time?
Not fucking fair! You could have given us
Monkey.
more of a heads up, even though I did get one still.
Monkey.
Monkey.
He smiled and patted the shield.
Why? Why did you save me? Monkey.
Why not? We wanted a high body count, and that's the best way to get it.
So
which
wait,
is why we
is-
didn't kill your friends.
Is someone out there counting the bodies right now? Yeah, we've got Richard out there doing it.
It's
Ah,
pretty good.
he's the newest to the group, so he has to do the
Three.
work.
He does the bitch work.
Well, he's like the Don of the Mafia, so he has some like
those are
relevant
two.
accounting
It's like
experience.
6, 8.
You know he has an
Nah.
accounting degree, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I yelled in anger and slammed into the shield.
You bastard!
He laughed and turned to face Val and Violent Inferno, who had just walked into the room.
Val, are you ready for the transfer?
No, I can't see where. Sorry, it's so dark in here sometimes. We have to keep the lighting all moody.
It's a lot of electricity to power this.
I can imagine it is. Right. Sorry.
Val nodded his head and looked at me with an evil smirk.
That's
Transfer?
yeah.
I muttered. Nightmare swirled around to face me and grinned.
Oh yes, the transfer. So for some reason I keep thinking it's gonna be Val talking, but Val
I know. I was expecting it too.
Sorry, I had to
Val?
I had to write a tweet about this.
I raised an eyebrow and frowned.
Nightmare. They're called
Jesus
X's
Christ. Transfer as it. Jesus Christ.
Why did
The
he
last
ask
couple
Val a
lines have been,
question?
Val, are you ready for the transfer? Transfer. Oh yes, the transfer. Transfer as in.
That's pretty funny.
All right. You know that little trick you have, the one where you regenerate and heal yourself.
He questioned, a face twitching into a smile. I resist the urge to gulp and nodded. He smirked and watched as Val positioned himself next to my shielded prison.
Well, Val here, as you know, has a little trick to transfer that over to me. Sadly, for you, anyway, you will no longer have this ability.
He
Okay.
smiled smugly as I growled in anger.
So they can
And
take
after
away
the
the Lord's
transfer is
blessing and give
gone.
it to someone else?
Yeah, we'll move on.
Does that mean if Twilight dies, they die then?
The Lord,
Yeah.
the Lord is kind of a putz in this story.
He's kind of
Like,
hands off in
getting-
this. He'll
He
do
just
one or two
caught
things,
me.
but he lets the world just
His-
do his thing.
He's just commie.
He gives his
Yeah.
powers to weird random people who don't deserve it. He
It's
lets
commie.
It is
terrible things
commie.
happen. Yeah. He sucks.
No.
Can you like get baptized
Guru.
twice and then give one of them to someone else later?
I think
Yeah.
so. Well, see, actually, in the Mormon church, you can get baptized for your ancestors, and
Oh.
like that counts.
Oh, you can like
Incredible.
retroactively send. Grandpa to
Absolutely,
heaven?
yeah. So you
Wait,
can do that. They have like
okay.
a whole lineage.
What
thing.
if Grandpa's chilling like I don't know, like Roman Catholic heaven, and then they're like, "Oh, sorry, you have to go to the Mormon heaven now."
Just, like, yoink him out of there.
And he's like, "What? You sorry? It says here you've been baptized retroactively."
The Pope's woke anyway, man. He'll be happier there.
And after the transfer is done, we'll move on to a few of your other abilities.
I stomped to the ground.
No, that's not possible.
It's possible, Lance.
I know, I just don't want to believe it.
Nightmare tilted his head back, laughing.
We'll see.
What if it's possible?
10 minutes.
Well, anything's
earlier.
possible with popsicle.
Well,
That's true.
first of all, everything's possible through Jesus. So write that
So
down.
write that
Yeah,
down,
exactly,
yeah. 10 minutes earlier.
No, no.
Since you're the one recording, I'll assume that picked up.
Yeah.
Twilight screamed as she pounded against the large black shield that encased Ponyville.
No.
Is this a different person or is this Gyrocon?
I don't. Oh, right. It's the opposite. It's the Otherworld Gyrocon.
Yeah. So one goes.
Okay.
Yeah, Lance goes by Lance, and Gyro is the other one from the other dimension.
Yeah, it's the third Gyrocon.
Okay, the
There's
second
so
Gyrocon is in the
many.
towers. Gyro looked into the shield. It felt a pang of quilt. You're right. It felt a pang of quilt as he looked at the burning remains of the once peaceful town. This was his fault. He had given Lance the wrong information, and so many innocents had paid
Dude,
for it.
you got the wrong information, so it's technically not your fault, but it is. Like, someone else gave you the wrong
Dude,
information.
he couldn't have stopped it no matter where he was. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
That's fair.
Now.
Omnius yelled out as he and a few other unicorns shot beams of magic at the shield, trying to bring it down. Gyro looked around at all the ponies who had been outside of the shield at the time it went up, and at all of Lance's friends who were desperately trying to break it down. Twilight continued to scream out, slamming her hooves against the shield in anger. Gyro slowly walked up behind her and put a hoof on her shoulder.
Twilight, please calm down. You're embarrassing yourself.
You're being hysterical. What are you even crying about?
You're being
If
hysterical.
you keep doing this, we're gonna have to put you into a special home,
A special room.
a padded room, padded cell.
She
That's
twisted
for you.
around and yelled out in anger, tears streaming down her face.
She certainly did. Calm down! How can I be calm when I just saw my husband get taken by Nightmare?
Gyro felt another pang of guilt.
Oh, there it is. Now it's Pang of Guilt.
Every time he writes the line, it gets more correct.
You got like
does that mean the next time we see it, it's gonna be the most wrong?
Yes, because we went from ping of quilt to
A pang of quilt. Now a
to
pang of
pang
guilt.
guilt.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry.
She began to scream.
No!
But stopped herself.
Gyro. It wasn't your fault. I just want my husband to be okay.
I don't really care
don't-
about Carrot
don't
Blossom and her
worry.
kids.
Well, at least you will do.
At least my
Ponyville,
son is
my
safe.
home, my friends, the people I care about. Fuck them all. My husband got taken away by some bitch.
You're like a DILF version of Lance. Like,
Gyro
okay.
gave a slight nod.
I'll find Lance. I promise.
Twilight's gaze suddenly hardened.
You know where he is, don't you?
Gyro looked away.
Yes.
Twilight turned his head back to face her.
Oh, because you turned away. Yeah. You're
Okay.
taking me with you.
Gyro looked into her eyes and said in a serious voice.
No, I will not allow it.
Twilight stomped her hoof and pointed it at him.
You're taking me with you, and that's final, mister.
Gyro gulped and clenched his teeth.
All right, you can come with. Come. You stay behind me.
Twilight smiled slightly and turned to face her friends.
Oh
who
my
tried
gosh,
over
what
to
are
them
you
and
all
they
doing
started fighting.
here?
It's a bunch of cardboard.
I forgot this was
cutouts.
a My Little Pony story for a while.
Ready the elements of harmony. We have to stop Nightmare from killing 100 townspeople.
It's like the stock images of them, like done as like paper cutouts, like all together.
I
and they're
do
like,
love
oh,
that.
wow, good news, Shiver Cube. We're here to help.
This is Applejack, by the way. I think
Are
I
you
Oh.
okay, Twy?
Are you okay, Twy?
Applejack asked with a look of concern. Twilight nodded and pointed towards the shield.
Listen, girls, we know where Lance is. Gyro and I isn't that Gyro Con? No, this is Gyro. No, you Fluttershy. Look, they're the same, but they're not. Gyro and I are going to go find them. I want you girls to stay here and help the ponies in need.
Now look,
Applejack said sternly as she eyed her friend.
we're not gonna allow you to run off and face all those guys by yourself. If you go, we go. I don't know where the elements of harmony are.
I don't want to stay and help the people in need. I want to leave.
My family's entire farm is falling apart, but I'm gonna leave them.
Sweet Apple Acres is on fire, but Lance is who's truly important here.
The others nodded their heads in agreement. Twilight held a hoof to her face.
Why? Oh wait, is this like her own face?
Yes.
Okay, I
Oh,
thought she
yeah,
like
no,
held a
no,
hook to
no,
like
no.
Apple. Yeah, I'm like, what? If you all come, we'll only be.
Twilight.
Gyro said as he looked at the group. She turned to face him, frowning.
I think we'll need all the help with. We'll need their help with this. Why? Why do we need a bunch of these characters who don't?
She
matter?
raised that. Why? They're not super powered.
What do they do? They can't do anything.
They should die.
I haven't seen them in like a year and a half since last game.
You know what's funny actually is assuming that there's a shield and it cuts off Ponyville. Like Sweet Apple Acres, you could argue is not in there, and like also Rainbow Dash, her house is in Cloudsdale, and like Fluttershy lives in a cottage like by
Yeah,
Everfree Forest.
definitely
So
outside
like
of
most of
those.
these ponies don't even live here.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, and also even if Rainbow Dash's house is nearby, like how high does the shield go?
Well, so we gotta get to the next line here, but there's something I gotta point out after we read this next line.
He waved his hoof over them all.
You're the elements of harmony, the most powerful weapons we have against them. We're taking them with us. That's what I just gotta point out here. He's like, listen, Twilight, you can't come with me. And Twilight's like, no, I'm coming with you. She's like, okay, fine. You can come. All the friends want to come. Like, Twilight, no. Like, Twilight's like, no. It's like, no, we had to bring them with us. We need the elements of harmony. We should have no chance without them. That's why I was going to leave you behind.
He's fucking.
Well, he's more like, well, you know,
gaslighting.
now that I think about it, it probably is worth bringing all of you. He like thought about it for half a second more.
Absolute fucking putz.
She began to say something, but Gyro shook his head, silencing her.
Whoa.
Twilight sighed and turned to her friends.
Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash looked up at her and stood up straight.
Go to Cantula and get the elements of harmony. Why are they there? Once you have them, bring them back here.
Rainbow Dash saluted.
On it.
She then spun around and shot into the air, heading at top speed towards Canterlot.
I mean, to be fair, I think that's where the elements were kept in the season 2 finale.
Oh,
and in the
yep.
season
You're
2
right.
Opener,
In the
so,
big
like,
old door.
Oh, Lord.
I wonder where the princesses are. Yeah, where's Vinchin?
They were literally at the party, so yeah, no, they should be here.
They're just
Well, they're
chilling.
supposed to be with Omnius.
Oh,
and,
yeah, they went to
the-
Canada.
Because they
They're
split up.
dealing with like the foreign affair or whatever that they were
No,
doing.
because like they're
No,
with
Gyra
Omnius,
said-
and Omnius is here.
Yeah, Gyra said, hey, they're going to attack Canada. And so Celestia went over there, I think, right?
Yeah, but like then they came back because like they were with Omnius, like Omnius and Frederick and stuff were all like with them, and they were all involved in the fights.
Hmm.
Like
I
they're
don't know.
yeah, they're all breaking.
She then
shields.
looked at the others.
While she's gone, we're going to help as many ponies as we can when that shield goes down.
Gyro smiled a little as they all gave a small cheer.
Yay!
Not all ponies are bad, like they are in his future.
What the fuck?
What? Oh, come on.
He's from the darkest timeline where all the main 6 are. He's from Fallen Equestria. I'm calling it right now.
No, no.
It's gonna be the fucking like the mean 6. There it is.
Oh my god.
So true. 2 minutes later, a minute after the shield came down.
He's actually the more extreme universe than this one. You know how this one has some rape stuff? That one has all rape stuff.
God.
No, this is where if the horse thing actually traumatized him.
Listen, Twilight, we can't get involved. This is a canon event. He needs to get raped by that horse.
It's a canon event. It's a canon event. Lance.
This is the branch timeline where fucking Razor Grays won the Assassin games instead of.
Oh my god.
Your wife has to die.
Gyro trotted down the street, looking at the burning remains of the buildings. A few ponies stumbled around, blood covering a few. The sight was painful for him. He'd know many of these ponies. After he cleared the streets
were
and
all
came to the center of
bastards.
the town, where most of the fighting must have taken place, he saw a few ponies laying close together. When he was closer, he recognized them as his friends, or the ponies who were his friends in the future. Only one of them was standing, Frederick. He was looking around. Tears coated his face. Gyro looked down at the others and winced when he saw Grace. Her right foreleg was twisted at an awkward angle.
Not broken,
clearly
just
broken.
twisted.
Clearly broken.
Oh, well, never mind then. My
Wait,
joke fell flat.
So in his alternate timeline future, like he's still friends with all the bronies, but it's the canon ponies specifically who are all evil.
I guess so.
That might
Because,
be
you know,
the case.
Greg is a peach no matter where you find him.
Yeah.
And bruises and cuts covered her body. Peter's face was slightly swollen, blood seeping out of his broken snout. Greg didn't have a scratch on him, only a large bruise around his neck. Frederick tilted his head up to the sky.
This is my fault.
Gyro shook his head and put a hoof on his side.
Just heard Jada in the background screaming, "What am I fighting for?" Sorry, yeah. No, it's not. It isn't anyone's fault. It's mine.
Frederick looked down at him sadly.
I could have beaten my father. I just refused to actually use the skills he taught me back on Earth, like
What?
shooting a motherfucker in the back of the head.
Yeah, like the Maple Syrup Mafia is crazy.
If I just used guns, I could have probably beat him.
Back on Earth, he taught me all about how to counterfeit $1 bills.
Canadian $1 bills, that is.
Yeah, it's a lot less money than a United States dollar.
It's a
You
know,
gotta
it's
counterfeit a lot
hard-
more for the same amount of money.
It's
Actually,
a lot harder to do
hold
than
on,
in
I-
America because you have to use plastic.
It's like,
Requires you to melt down a
so
lot
it's
of.
like- So he's like, oh, if I'd used the skills my father taught me back on Earth, presumably this means that back on Earth, his father was just like, listen, son, if you are ever in a situation where you're a quadruped and need to shoot laser beams from your, this is how you do it.
I'm assuming it's that he does the thing that Peacemaker's dad did. It's like has a dude tied up, and it's like, all right, kill him.
Sure, yeah.
Oh.
I'm sure that's intended. I just think it's funnier if he's just like, okay, like now assume you're flying and you have energy beams.
By the way, Cody,
Well,
you did miss our
maybe
think
his
mark.
dad is a supervillain.
I missed think mark.
Yeah, you did miss think mark
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, there was straight up a bit
Think,
where
Frederick.
he's like just blowing up ponies. It's just like, you care too much about these weak creatures.
Oh God, he predicts
Look what
everything.
He did.
Look what they need to match even a fraction of our
A
power.
fraction of our power.
That's so fucking funny. I would love that. Okay. Frederick. No. Gyro cocked his head back. No. Gyro cocked his head slightly and raised an eyebrow.
He taught you skills?
No, that's Gyro.
Oh, yeah. He taught you skills? Why would he do that?
Frederick sighed and hung his head.
Well, my father always wanted me to be part of the family business. He kept forcing me to take all them fighting classes. He made sure I learned how to fight hand to hand, but I told myself I'd never use what he made me learn. I'm so stupid.
Gyro put on a reassuring smile.
You're not stupid. You just did what you thought was best.
Frederick sliced a hoof through the air and flared his horn, causing a saddlebag to lift off of the stage and float over to himself.
Can I really quick
I will no
read like
longer go about this peacefully, like I have up until this point, because I've definitely not been fighting and did not beat my father previously. If he wants to hurt and kill others, then I have to stoop to his level.
Wait, hold on. You're gonna start hurting and killing others as well?
I love the idea that like the next time we see him, he's wearing like a Mafia Don outfit.
He just goes in with like a fucking Punisher skull shirt and starts
Yeah,
shooting random ponies.
God.
He's got the Chicago typewriter.
Dropping things. By the way, I want to read like the first word in the last like 10 paragraphs, which is Gyro Peter, Greg Frederick, Gyro Peter, Gyro Frederick, Gyro Frederick.
Wow.
Amazing. We're so Barack to old living the dream.
It's about to be Jover, though, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Rip to a real one.
Before
Well,
Gyro.
that not for April. She's gonna read the rest of it.
I am going to
Yeah.
continue to read. Not
Lord.
aloud, but like, reviews and stuff.
Before
I-
Gyro could ask, Frederick pulled out a rune and focused his magic on it. A bright light flashed, causing Gyro to look away. When Gyro looked back, his eyes widened in awe. Frederick was dressed in a full-on suit of steel-colored armor.
Whoa.
The same one he had used on that night so long ago when Cody was trying to kill him.
Cody!
Cody! That's so funny.
Oh, Cody.
He still, oh my god, he still had the two swords by his side, each one with the name Sanger and Yolash carved into the
This
side
is
of the sheath.
this is such a like fan service as
Oh my
chapter.
god.
Sanger
so
and Yo
funny.
Lash.
I was going to say he knew that we were reaching the finale, and then I realized like literally the next chapter after the chapter after the next chapter is end of part 1 of Living the Dream. So like it actually was intended to be like a sort of finale.
This kind of implies that he's like, I'm not playing around anymore. I'm gonna choose violence for the first time. He's doing the same thing he did when Cody was trying to kill him. So it's not, he's already done it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something I've never done before. You do the thing I've done before. You still have that?
Gyro asked in slight awe. Frederick looked at him, half his face hidden behind the metal mask.
Of course. I knew I would need it.
He then leaned forward, becoming deadly serious.
Now, where are they? Fuck, Jesus Christ. Now, where are they?
But it's were. It's W-E-R-E.
It does say, where are they?
Where are they?
Where are they?
Can you wait till...
He stomped his hoof and growled slightly.
Tell me.
Gyro recoiled and pointed towards the ever-free
You were
forest.
such a bitch, Garrett.
God, he's
You just
so
folds
lame.
every time someone stomps their foot.
I don't want him to be mad at me.
No.
It's like, listen, tactically
No.
speaking, we should wait until we're all together. Tell me now. Okay, God.
All right, Jesus, it's fine.
Fine, okay.
Gyro recoiled and pointed towards the Everfree forest.
They're in Nightmare's Castle, the one from the show.
Wait, hold on. But Frederick died before the show came out.
Isn't that the castle?
Wait, you're right.
Yeah, Frederick's the one who like died before, and
Yeah, isn't that the castle of the two sisters?
Yeah.
It's Nightmare Castle.
yeah, apparently.
Frederick closed his eyes.
Thank you.
He then turned and lowered his head.
I'm going to make them all. I'm gonna make him pay for all the pain he's caused.
Frederick, you sound a lot like Gyro.
I know. I was like, it's like
He
he's
could
trying
go
to
back
do,
to like a
cool, serious
Bostonian
thing, but,
mafia thing, you know, if that's a serious
yeah.
voice.
Oh yeah. He's reverting to his
Yeah,
evil,
his mafia ways.
traditional sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to reference it, but it's like South Park
Oh God.
when he does the New Jersey thing.
Is that what they're called? New Jerseyans?
New Jersey.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna make him fucking pay for all the pain he caused.
His head snapped up, and he shot forward, suddenly flying at a high speed towards the ever-free forest. All right, well, that's going to probably fuck with, like, Twilight's plans, but, you know, whatever. Gyro took a step after him, but the groans from Peter stopped him. Instead, he moved to the side and kneeled down next to Peter.
Oh shit, you're still in the story. I mean, Peter, can you hear me?
Peter groaned again and gave a weak nod. Gyro put a hoof on his shoulder.
Hang in there. Help will be here soon.
Over to the side, Grace let out a weak whimper as she sat up and looked at her broken foreleg. Gyro stood and rushed over to her.
No! Stay down, Grace!
How did you do this?
It's okay,
She
Grace.
began
They
to
make new
protest.
ones.
But allowed him to lay her back down.
I got punched like once.
I've
That's
got
what you get
glass
for being a
bones and
girl.
paper skin.
Turns out my weak womanly frame compared to my male counterpart is just so fragile.
Gyro stood and looked around, watching as the uninjured ponies ran around helping the hurt ones. A few were carrying either unconscious or dead ponies on their backs. He sighed and carefully picked up Grace and then Peter.
Okay, what about
My
Greg?
little pony.
Fuck that guy.
Greg's not hurt.
He doesn't have a scratch on him.
He's
just
got
got
a
a
bruise around his throat. I'm
neck.
pretty sure he's
That's
choked.
about it.
That was just fetish.
Twilight strained herself as she lifted a pile of rubble off of a pony. When it was lifted high enough, she threw her head to the side, sending it into the street.
Her head?
What?
She flies off her shoulders. She then galloped forward and kneeled down next to the pony. The pony coughed and looked up at her, forcing a pained smile.
That was an actual cough, not from the pony.
Yes.
By the way, that was just a meat
Well,
coughing.
you can beat this pony.
Thank you.
Twilight smiled back and stood up. She then levitated the pony up and began to walk towards the medical tent, holding the pony in front of her. The medical tent had been thrown up in a hast, already full of ponies. It wasn't enough for every pony, but it was better than nothing. As she reached it, she laid the pony down on an open cot and turned to leave. There wasn't enough room for every pony,
Pretty
but there is an
full,
open
though.
cot.
Yeah, I pushed one of the injured ponies off of the cot so I could place this one
What
down.
are you
in a
broken
sling.
with? I twisted my ankle. Knocks them off and puts them down on there.
Get off.
Get off! Go let people with real
I got this
problems
boo
take
boo
care.
on my elbow.
But
Then fuck off, child.
Gyro stepped in front of her.
She kicks Fawn off the cot. Get off.
What are you doing here?
It's
Play.
fine. Anyway,
My spine is broken.
Twilight, we have to leave as soon as possible.
She looked to the side and saw Grace and Peter on two separate cots, both resting.
Why? Don't we have to wait for Rainbow Dash to get back?
She asked as she turned her attention back to Gyro. Gyro frowned.
Frederick ran off to face his father alone. I don't know how he figured out where the castle was. It was kind of
He just kind of knew. Twilight's eyes widened in shock.
He did? Well, he can't do this alone.
Gyro nodded.
I know. So no elements of harmony, I guess. That's what we have to. We must leave now without without Rainbow Dash.
Girls,
Twilight looked
where are
around and
you?
yelled. She gets back and no one's there.
They're all the cutouts fall over.
Twilight looked around and yelled out to one of her friends.
Rarity!
Rarity looked up and saw Peter. What? Okay. As she made her way to him, she answered.
Yes, dear?
Tell the girls that me and Gyro are going to go now.
Rarity stopped and eyed her friend.
Now? Why now?
Fred took over here and ran off. She's like, I understand. Applejack!
Applejack, could you relay this message?
I was just like, sort of thing, Fluttershy!
Fluttershy, I got some news for you.
Fluttershy, come over here, Sugar Cube.
Yeah.
She said simply as she began to push Gyro out of the tent. When they were outside of the tent, Twilight started to gallop towards the forest.
Come on, we'll be there in 15 minutes if we hurry. By the way, this is still 10 minutes before the interchange.
I don't want to be rude, but Twilight, just teleport.
Yeah.
Yeah, just teleport there.
Yeah.
Or 5 if we fly.
Gyro said as he galloped to catch up.
Or 1 if we teleport.
Yeah, well, less than 1 even.
Fly?
Twilight said as she came to a stop and looked at him strangely.
But you don't have wings. That's one of the differences between my length and you.
Gyro chuckled and grabbed the edge of his cloak.
You're also much uglier than my husband.
Oh, that's not one of the differences between us.
He then yanked the cloak off and tossed it to the side, revealing a pair of strong wings.
Oh my god, he's
They
got
fly
like real
now.
wings.
Why does he look better than actual Lance does?
Because he looks like a fucking horse.
Yeah, because he doesn't have like the stupid dragon eyes or like multiple stripes or weird.
Crazy,
like,
this is what he could have
Because
looked like.
this is if God didn't pull a prank on him.
Got
Yeah.
it. If they want him to win, they should bring the Bible and start reciting verses, says Yamson.
Oh my god.
You're so right.
This is just an episode of Bible Man.
Oh,
That's how he found it. He found the
Twilight's
rain and he uncovered the golden tablets, right?
got it.
Yeah, so true.
Fetch
Twilight sighed and shook her head.
I should have known.
Gyro turned to the side and lowered himself.
Well, come on. We don't have much time.
Twilight looked up and gave a single nod. She then climbed onto his back and shifted into a comfortable position.
Hey, it's before Twilight had wings.
Gyro
Yeah,
stood
yeah.
up and spread his wings.
Let's get this party started.
He then took off into the air, flying as hard as he could towards the castle.
It's unintentional, but I'm kind of realizing that old Gyro's voice is turning more and more to Steven Seagal, which honestly amuses me to no end. Just the
It's
idea
very
of like Steven Seagal as this elder, as this like weird post-apocalyptic future pony.
Oh man, they didn't say this would be that painful. I was currently curled up on the ground inside the shield, panting heavily. Apparently, that spell he uses causes physical exhaustion. So far, they've taken my ability to regenerate and my ability to teleport. I don't know what's next, though. Nightmare and Val was currently laughing together, making a joke or something.
Yeah. Sir, can I take this knife and stab you real quick?
Why
Oh,
was
look at the
6
wound
of
closed,
Satan's
sir.
prison?
Oh, can I do it again?
One of the guys found out, beat her up so bad she ended up in the hospital on 3rd Street.
It's Guerrero Street, right?
Guerrero Street, that's right.
I look towards the window. Yes, I look towards the window and see a flash. Lighting. Looks like a storm is rolling in.
Lighting.
Lighting.
Do you think you can take his immortality?
Nightmare asked Val. I shrugged.
Oh no. That's the hardest thing to take from someone, I assume, I guess. I tried to take my brothers, but why is
What?
Myricon saying this?
I think this is supposed to be Val. I think Val's supposed to be saying this.
I think this is
No, but it says I shrugged. So it kinda
It's
doesn't
it's
matter.
Gyrocon's, so keep going.
It's supposed to be Val, but Gyricon, to Nightmare, says, I don't know. That's the hardest thing to take from someone. I tried to take it from my brother, who I found in the Dead Rising universe, but failed. I may be able to, but it could take a while.
That's so funny.
That's really
Oh yeah, his
good.
brother's still in town, isn't he?
Dude, I don't know.
And
It'd be
then
so
Nightmare
funny.
continues to look at Gyricon.
Nightmare looked at me and smirked.
Don't worry, we have all the time in the world.
Oh, Mark left a while ago. Okay.
I gulped audibly.
Go.
If they take that, then I don't want to think about it.
Well, then you'll just be back to
Oh,
normal.
jeez, why did I mention that? Oops.
Did
Why
that
did I
come
offer
out?
to get rid of my own immortality?
Oh, shit, that's really helpful of you. Thank you. Yes, please.
Frederick flew down the
Oh.
path, a pissed off look on his face. He was
Dun,
nearing
dun,
the
dun,
castle,
dun.
only a few more minutes to go. Above him, he heard the sound of thunder and felt a drop of water hit his face as he sped down the narrowing path.
Nah, 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 nah.
He didn't pay attention to it, but he did pay attention to the sudden flash of movement off to his side.
Whoa.
Before he could turn his head, something slammed into him and sent him flying off the path and into a patch of bushes and trees. He slammed into a fairly large tree and completely tore it out of the ground as his body soared through the air. Frederick growled and twisted in midair and landed on all fours, facing his attacker. Richard landed a few yards away and smiled.
Yes, you can still land after that beating I gave you. Impressive.
He then smirked as he looked Frederick over.
Armor and swords? Really, boy? You always was a fucking geek about that stuff.
Frederick drew his 2 swords with his magic and held them in front of himself.
That's my F-bomb for the year.
Games, asshole.
Yay! I can't believe you waited until December 20th to do your F-bomb of the year.
Damn.
You could do your next one in January and it wouldn't even be
It's
that much
clear.
longer.
Yeah, but we're not going to be reading anymore in January in theory.
Thank fucking God, please.
Yeah.
We're going to end this. We're going to end this right here, right now.
Richard flexed out his talons and grinned.
So, you finally grown an actual pair. That's why everything was ball-shaped when we fought, by the way.
Talons.
You ready to take on your old man in a fight to the death?
Frederick leaned down into a fighting stance.
I should have done this from the first time we fought, you old prick.
Richard laughed and also leaned down into a fighting stance.
Oh, as I remember, the first time we fought was back on Earth, and we both know how that ended for you.
I don't
Did he
think
just-
that counts as a fight if you just like whacked your son.
Is
It could
Is this
count.
like-
You don't know that.
is this like Goku and Vegeta when they stance up before their fight?
Who is Frederick in all this? Is he TN?
He's like
no,
Vegeta,
no,
I guess
Grace
now.
is
But like,
Tien.
Fair.
Fucking
Last
Cody
time-
would be
oh, yeah,
Vegeta, right?
um,
Like, surely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you your cinder block shoes, Fred.
Hey,
Frederick let out a low growl.
hey, this time I won't be the one who takes cold steel blade, fucko.
Richard chuckled and tensed.
Of course it won't be, Freddy.
Richard then shot forward, talons raised. Frederick also shot forward, both of his swords raised and ready to strike. They reached each other,
Touch.
and...
Cliffhanger.
Whoa! That's
that-
the chapter. It's actually over, yeah.
That actually went by way faster than the last one.
Well, yeah, it's significantly shorter than the last one. The last one was like 5,000 words. It was like insanely long.
Sweet. Well, on
Yeah.
that note,
Yeah, on that note, thank you all for reading along with us. Join us next time when we're going to be reading Devastation and hopefully Ending the Nightmare.
no, we just
which
read
will then lead-
Devastation.
Oh, sorry, we just read Devastation. You're right. Ending the Nightmare and then end of part 1 of Living the Dream.
Can you believe it's almost here? Like, for real?
It's almost
Yeah,
over.
there's definitely not a whole fucking bunch of chapters that come after that.
Don't
before
look
we-
at the.
They're
don't
all
look at
short,
it.
they're all
No.
short, they're all short. It's okay.
Yep. Well, on that note,
Right.
goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.